Oh, we're live. We are live in the YT Mill Bentonville for the final show of our finale run. It's been great working with YT this whole time, getting us the best guests that we could possibly have up here today for our last show of the finale. Micayla Gatto, Natalie Peet in the studio.
Yes.
Or this mock of a studio that we have up here.
It's a studio.
Okay, all right. We got verification. We got verified. We just got verified. Got the check mark.
Got like a screen table.
Yeah.
It's very professional.
A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
We don't like to half stepping
No.
Yeah.
when it comes to Gnarkansas. So enough about us. We want to hear about y'all. How did you guys get together? Like how you guys are hanging? How did the hang begin?
I don't know.
The hang began at the women's ride.
Yeah.
Oh, the YT women's ride last year or
2 months ago.
2 months
2 months ago?
Oh,
It
okay.
feels like a year ago.
Yeah, beginning of March.
Right?
I was flown out here to do International Women's Day and host a women's ride, and they said, yeah, local Ripper Nat is going to be there too, and you girls are going to just like meet these women and go for a ride and everything. And we met up, and she's rad, and yeah.
Now you're buds?
Yeah,
Now
we're
we're
buds.
Now you're buds.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good to hear.
Yeah, they were like, you're going to like Micayla. And I feel like our vibes just kind of riff off each
Just
other really
worked.
well. Yeah.
That's good.
For
That's
sure.
really good. Well, since you guys are fresh friends, let's talk about some fresh stuff that you guys have been doing recently, and then we'll peel back that onion a little bit. So what about Bike Fest? So what shenanigans have you guys got into for Bike Fest?
Oh, man.
Some partying, I feel like. Friday night
That's
with
okay.
Paul.
That's okay, Paul.
Yeah.
We definitely did that.
Dodging rain a little bit.
A lot of it.
No tornadoes, though, this year. Last year was
That's
was
right.
pretty fun.
rough.
But honestly, like, just going, checking out the venue, going for some rides.
Yeah.
I think I got to go and kind of test ride the Bella Vista, the Oz
The new
Trails
Oz Park.
Bike Park.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. We got to do that.
Yeah.
And
How was that? What'd you think about it?
Super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trails seem to flow nicely. There's a lot of
Yeah.
big jumps that Bentonville doesn't really have quite yet. So
Yeah.
just kind of adding on to that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
More steep downhill trails.
There we
that, you know,
go.
that we
That-
kind of need in this area.
That drop everybody was hitting was
Yes.
super gnarly.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's
Pretty
big.
cool. Very
It's
steep
big.
landing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you watch Jimmy do it, like he
Like
used
head
all
slap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
all his travel
Yeah.
was used.
All
in
the
slow
travel
motion.
was
Yeah,
used.
yeah, all of
Okay.
it.
I think we were kind of put in there as sort of guinea pigs. They just started building those trails in January.
Yeah.
And then, so they built 3 full top to bottom runs in 4 months plus that drop. So they were like, okay, let's have some pros come out and
Yeah.
test ride it and see,
Yeah.
get some feedback, maybe change some landings and things like that. So it was a really cool day. They gave us breakfast and lunch, and the lunch was like so cute. We had little rugs to sit on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Set
it was
Yeah.
lovely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Honestly, as someone not from here, the like warmth and welcoming that Bentonville gives, and the tight knit community vibe. Like you go to the hub and you see people that you've met at somewhere else, and like everyone's so open. Like
Yeah.
I know my friend Heather was having to film a bunch of stuff for Visit Bentonville, and she
Yeah.
was just kind of like trying to figure it out, trying to find some trails, and she just met up with a local guy who just happened to recognize her and see that she was looking at a map, and then proceeded to take her on a tour of the trails of Bentonville for like 4 hours. And then at the end, his like wife came and picked them up and like drove her back. And like, I was just like, man, that is so cool. That's what makes this town
That's
so
right.
cool.
That's right. Like an Insta guide.
Yeah,
Like you
and-
show up and you just find a local and you have a guide.
Yeah,
I've
everyone's
done it.
just so
I've done it a few times,
friendly.
just hanging out at the castle or something, and you can just tell some guys going, "Man, I don't know. What
I
are
don't
you
know what I'm
looking for, dude?"
doing.
And he's like, "It's over there. Let's go. I'll go with you." And he's like, "Really?"
Yeah, and I think that's really beautiful, and maybe something that people who were born and raised here or grew up here, like maybe, I don't know if you take it for granted or not, but it's like,
Yeah, well, like, so I grew up here, and then I moved to Texas for a little bit for college, and I started riding the trails down there.
Yeah.
And to get around there was honestly a little harder too, because like the signage and wayfinding like
Not the
was
same.
non-existent.
Yeah,
I was like, where are
I
the big
bet.
trail systems, the hubs? And so I was
Sure.
like, I got to get back to Bentonville.
you're
you
like,
know?
why isn't this on Google Maps?
Yeah, I was like, why can't I ride from downtown to some downhill trails? Like, what is going on here?
Why is no one smiling and talking to me?
Yeah, the Southern hospitality
That's
is
right.
real here.
Right.
Even if you're not like a Southerner, if you're like maybe like a new, like a what do you call it? Like a relocation, or like a transplant.
Transplant. That's the
Yeah,
one.
if you're
That's
a
the one.
transplant,
Yeah.
like I think just the vibes within Northwest Arkansas in
Mm-hmm.
general. Everyone is super friendly and just seems happy to be here, you know, and happy.
That's the
I think
truth.
bikes just do that to people too, you know.
That, it might be that hybrid feeling of like the bikes plus the Southern hospitality. You put
Yeah,
those two
maybe.
things together, and it's like we're family now
Yeah.
somehow.
It really
You
is
know?
like Disneyland.
Yeah,
Like
for
Disneyland
sure.
That's
mountain
what I
bikes
always
here.
call
For
it an
sure.
amusement park. Do you guys think those elements are included on a mountain bike capital of the world claim, or do you just look at it as trails only?
No,
sure.
I think for me, because I will fiercely defend the Sea to Sky in Whistler and Squamish.
Sure,
I like this.
sure,
No,
sure.
I like that we have somebody in the defense of another.
And
Let's
I'm like,
go.
mountain bike capital of the world, come on, I'm from like the epicenter.
Right,
That's
right.
right.
I grew up on the North Shore. I'm like all this stuff.
That's
but
right.
honestly, and I almost like when I first heard that, I was like, come on.
Well,
But by being here, like this is my 4th time here,
Mm-hmm.
I can understand it from the perspective of accessibility and having, you know, you can live anywhere in Bentonville and within a minute you're on a trail.
Sometimes
And-
in your backyard.
Exactly.
Right,
And that's
right.
something that like Squamish and Whistler, like I still have to get in my car and drive to the trails. There isn't like a
Sure.
trail system set up that'll take me to these hubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that this place, compared to anywhere else I've ridden in the world, and I've ridden
Everywhere.
all over in the world, the ability to progress and like the accessibility to that beginner intermediate
Mm-hmm.
type rider and families, it's like I would say it is one of, if not the most iconic place in the world for that.
Sure.
Right.
And then now they're starting to build the big stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, no.
Yes.
Where
Now
are
what's
we?
gonna happen? Yeah. So we actually had this same dynamic in skateboarding in Arkansas. So like in the early days, there wasn't a lot of skateboarding around here. We were just like some punks. And then in that instance, we were going to places like Denver. And where they had a robust skateboard scene, and it only took 5 minutes to see somebody skate, and they're skating something much bigger than we knew how to skate, and they shredded. That everybody was shredders, and we were like, wow, we got to really step our game up. But it has a lot to do with like the facilities around, and like you said, now that they're going to start building that bigger stuff, we already have like the quantity.
oh my gosh.
But now when we actually like increase that, I'm thinking about the next level of riders around here. What is that gonna look like?
Oh, it's gonna be
you know
insane.
what is
Yeah.
fostered here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
I went to Rail Yard for the first time last night.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
Yeah, I love the
was
Rail
like,
Yard.
man,
Yep.
I wish we had something like this in Squamish.
all weather.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
don't have. Yeah, it's like we got a couple pump tracks and we got some dirt jumps, but
Okay.
again, the progression, like the fact that there's little kids there riding, and like even someone like myself who I have ridden hardtails, but I'm not like super comfortable. I
Okay,
want to be
right.
able to like warm up into things, and
It
you
has
could-
that scale.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
that there.
Yeah,
and then
you're
once
right.
you and it's organized in a way where it just makes sense. Like there's the small line and like the little set of jumps that are like 3 jumps in a row. If you can hit the biggest line on those 3 jumps, then you can go over
You
to
can
the
progress.
big line
Yes.
and probably hit that.
Yeah.
So it's just like it all makes sense, and it all just like aids in progression. I think that's something the Bentonville trails here do really well, is it really kind of like holds your hand. The trails like hold your hand through your progression.
I've felt
Right.
it.
And are
Yeah.
like, here are the incremental steps that you need to take to like become a better rider.
Yeah, I mean, not everywhere has that.
No, a lot of places you got like the greens, and then you have like some kind of in the middle, and then it's like there's a jump,
Yeah,
and that jump is
is exponential.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot higher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because like our friend Owen said
Oh,
the same
yep.
thing. He said that to jump parks where he's at in North Carolina, which is not close to like Asheville or anything, he said it's like little jumps and then it's just big ones.
Huge
and
ones.
It's like, how do I
You're like,
how do I
mean,
go from this to this?
Honestly, I felt like when I rode San Diego, I felt the same way. I was like, there's like either like little stuff or just like super gnarly
gnar
stuff.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, how do I warm up?
Yeah.
Where do you warm up at?
Yeah.
Well, that's how Bentonville kind of used to be too. Like,
Sure.
When I started here, it was just like easy trail, and then it was like black gnarly trail,
Yes.
and then so what we know as the Skills Park now, where they're those.
Yep.
So they've completely redone it. So even trying to like call this back is kind of difficult. But
Oh,
when
no,
they
I'm ready.
had those like 3 wooden drop features, then the third one was
Had
like
the
that
gap? Yes.
And like when I moved back here, I was like, I can't wait to go try to
go
hit
do the
that
gap.
And then
And
they
it's
tore
gone.
it down.
Yeah.
But a lot of features used to be like that.
Really
where-
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
technically
kickers-
really hard.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere. But now it's like they've torn a lot of stuff down and they're just revamping it to be progressive
You know,
for people.
a really good one to point out is, do you know Fitzgerald? Mm-hmm. They had the bridges out.
Yeah.
And the bridges out had that was like
the gap
it
down.
had the gap down. It was like
Yeah.
like a bridge was out, and you had to gap into this big thing, and you had no run up, right? A lot of people got hurt on that, and so they put a bridge in there, and so now it's. I mean, we affectionately we all call it the bridges in, because there's no gap anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so like that what was super hard. Make the trails now achievable for everybody, but then there were past that was the moon booter, and it was just this like super steep rock hit, and then it eventually crumbled. Anyways, people were getting hurt because there wasn't that middle ground to help progress. And you know, to aid to what you're saying, like it's like we have all of those
steps.
markers, ladder rungs.
Well, and
you
even
know?
something as simple as like, a bridge drop, which like is now filled in with like a little bit of an overhang so you can roll it.
Yes.
But it's like, okay, a beginner can roll off it, an intermediate can do a little jump, an expert can do a bigger jump, and then a pro can just like pre-hop, jump the whole thing,
send
land
it
in
into
the
the
bottom,
transition.
boost the
Yeah,
berm at the bottom,
exactly.
and it's like something for everyone. Like you see the videos that are playing in here in the mill, and they're just on repeat. You can come and watch them any day, and it's like Eric Fedko, Dylan Stark, some of the best riders in the world, and they are shredding Justice, and they're shredding Bentonville.
Yes.
And you look at some of the features, and I'm like, oh, I rode that, but I
didn't
do
ride it like that.
I didn't do a tail whip
like
off
that.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, it's funny you said that, the tail whip. The one thing I think we're talking about the rail yard, Fedko did that. The little.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a jump. That's
No.
like,
That's
that's
just
just
like
a
a
little
little-
thing,
a little
you know,
helper.
and you tail whipped it.
Yeah,
you
it's
doing?
so crazy. And,
So
and,
inspiring.
Yeah.
and just going there, like you said, little kids riding. I'm like, there's little kids doing backflips over there. Man.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
trio behind bars, I'm pretty sure is always those kids. They're follow them on Instagram if you can.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing to see these little tiny tykes flipping stuff that
Oh man,
probably shouldn't
Yeah.
flip.
they need to. The youth need to calm down. They're putting
They
me
need
out
to
of a job.
calm down.
Because wait till
That's
they
true.
have like young man strength. You know, they're just gonna be insane.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, for sure.
They're all crazy.
Okay, so Micayla, you had a trip to Mexico recently.
Yes,
Yeah, talk to us about that. What'd you do down there?
Oaxaca. So it's called Oaxaca Bike Expeditions, and
I've heard of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so the premise behind it is that Javi, the owner of the company, wanted to get people to come and do these tours, and he's like, well, what better way than to like, hey, come ride with a pro rider.
Right.
So he'll select, or you can just ask to be invited. He'll select a pro to lead expedition.
Okay.
Expedition.
All right. Just
It sounds
hang.
Yeah, it's an expedition of amazing food and like great trails, and
yes.
it honestly sounds, when it like Oaxaca Bike Expeditions, it sounds really intimidating. It sounds like you're gonna be like having like pack mules and
In
like
the
going
jungle,
into the
baby.
jungle.
Yeah, you have to pack your bike up to
Yeah.
the top of the mountain.
You're like
yeah.
trying to drink water and getting giardia. No.
Yeah, right.
But it's so mellow. Like
That's
it's
cool.
well, it's not mellow. We did over. Oh, and this is not freedom units, but in a week, in 5 days of riding, we did over 90 kilometers of descending, which I don't know what that is in miles, but it's a
Yeah,
lot.
But it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like enough.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's all shuttle assist. So
Oh, okay.
you wake up in the morning, you have free breakfast, you get into the shuttle vehicles, you drive up these windy roads up into the mountains in Oaxaca, just outside of Oaxaca City, and you shuttle and have fun and
Yeah.
have food and beers and till like 8 in the morning till like 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, and then you'll stop in like a really local spot, have some lunch with some really authentic Mexican food, and then go back to your place, have a few hours to like hang out at the pool or like have a shower, whatever, see the town. Oaxaca's known for its art and culture and food.
Yeah.
So just walking around the town, there's so much street art. There's all these little like wheat paste, like wood block cut graffiti, like you like paste it up.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
like and you can like so many studios in the town. We went and got tattoos. Or I didn't get a tattoo, but I helped facilitate the tattoos. And
which is surprising, by the way.
I know.
Well,
You're in Mexico.
You're an artist too. You do painting, right?
Yeah, I'm a tattoo artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole trip is just such a good time, and there is a huge spread of skill level. I would say intermediate would be like the minimum. It can be quite loose and it's mostly single track and stuff, but with the pace, I wouldn't really recommend a beginner to sign up. Yeah. But it is just so much fun, and I try and arrive a few days early and stay a few days late because Oaxaca City is just incredible. And part of the tour, part of the tour, you also like we get to go to a mezcal.
I'm really good at drinking that.
Yeah. Oh man, the
you
first
need to sign
time
up
we
on
went,
the next one.
Yeah, for real.
it was so fun. They like give us all hats and we drive out into the countryside in like a barrel. It's like such a tourist thing, and I never really do that stuff. And then they show you all the agave plants, and they're just feeding you shots. They're like
the whole time.
This is this one. Like, this is this one. And you're just like, oh man.
Okay.
It was so funny. We had a pretty zipped up crew last year, and driving out in the barrel, we're all just like. And then on the way back, we're all like, having tons of fun.
It took that. You needed to break that shell of the group, which is good. It's good that you have a place like that. I've heard a lot of good things about that area.
It's amazing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I could go on forever, obviously, but I think my next tour is with Casey Brown and Georgia Astle in December.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if people want to sign up.
There you go.
There's going to be more space. It's an all-women's trip.
Gotcha.
And, because
Natalie?
there's 3 of us.
I'm
we did it last year, and there was 16 women.
Okay, cool.
And it was fun.
Yo.
Part of it was a bachelorette party.
I see. I see.
That is an awesome idea for a bachelorette.
Yeah, so if you're
getting
married, come sign up. We'll show you a good time.
That's very cool. That's very cool. I mean, I think that Mexico is really stepping its game up when it comes to like mountain bike availability
for sure
and accessibility. We actually work in Mexico remotely, and like we always talk about like wanting to bring our bikes down because of like we're seeing more and more stuff, even just close
outside of Mexico City. Epic.
Yeah.
And you think of Mexico, you're like, oh, cactuses and like desert.
Yeah.
It's like Oaxaca in like December is so green and so lush. There's like hero dirt.
Yeah.
Outside of Mexico City, same thing. You can shuttle or you can pedal. It's like green and it's so sick.
Once you get to Mexico City, it starts to get more like Arkansas, more green and stuff.
Right,
yeah, totally.
Right.
Even Arkansas. I mean,
Yeah,
one of my friends, because I'm Canadian,
Yeah.
one of my friends at home texted me after she saw one of my stories, and she's like, wait,
What are you writing?
She's like, this is in Arkansas? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I thought it was just corn.
Yeah. I love that's our perception.
That's Iowa. That's Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Kansas.
That's
Yeah.
Kansas.
That's Kansas, not Arkansas.
Yeah. And I was like, no, it's sick here.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I think that another part of Mexico, it seems like has been stepping up, has been like their riders, like people in like the scene there has started to really step up. So I just see more and more like rider groups from Mexico even, and just like what's that, is it Freeride Fiesta that's down there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say South America in general, like the Chileans, the Argentinians, the Mexicans, like...
Is that where Freeride Festival?
There's
or Fiesta? I can't remember where that is. Yeah.
There's like Todo Anado, which is in Chile. There's like Freeride Fiesta, which I think is in Guadalajara or somewhere. I don't know. I think the Salido brothers kind of do that one.
Yep.
I can't remember the names of anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's so much now, and I think that just to cap that one off, that there's just so many options now.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to, and people do not consider Arkansas to be, or had not considered Arkansas to be one of those options. I think we're becoming a veritable force when it comes to those options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all you need is just a few people with a bit of drive and ambition, and
Yeah.
you know, I think it's happening. So yeah, it's been cool watching like South America really explode onto the free ride scene.
Yeah.
And all the girls like Cami and Renata and all that stuff just like just blowing up the scene. And so it's like, man, I don't know. The Canadians are kind of in there too.
Yeah, we're still fighting the
Soon
good
Bentonville.
fight. Yeah.
Bentonville locals.
Well, no, I mean honestly,
Finn
like
Logan.
yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Shout out Finn.
Yeah.
Finn.
Shout out Finn.
Herbert.
Nat.
But Nat.
Nat Daddy.
I'm
There
not
you go,
much
the
of a
Nat
free
Daddy.
rider, but
Yeah, but you're
but
you're
you
here.
do some Gnar riding. You
Yeah.
didn't you just accomplish something
yeah,
last month?
I did do Doom, so it's like a.
That sounds hard.
It was hard.
First
One
woman-
word, doom.
First woman, 8th overall.
Yes.
First woman.
Is more into
That's what I'm
bike
talking
packing,
about.
so
Yes. No,
ultra
that's
racing.
great. I wanted to get into bike packing because I'm so scared of it.
It's so
I want you to
fun.
make me not scared of it.
Well, bike packing is cool because you can ride for a long time and you can check out a lot of different trail systems.
Yeah,
and
okay.
If
do-
you're in shape.
that's
Yeah.
the caveat.
what's
There's a
stopping
key
me.
there.
But you can start small and then make your way big. But Doom was cool because it connects Buffalo Outdoor Center. So you're out there doing some
Oh,
BOC downhill trails
yes.
with Buffalo Headwaters, which is like
Yes.
backcountry, single track. Still super fun and beautiful. And then a crap ton of just gnarly gravel. So
Yeah.
in the Ozarks, it's like up, down, constantly.
So what is Zoom?
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yes.
Zoom is a platform where you can talk to people.
Okay.
No, Doom.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's so I guess the best way to describe it and that kind of stuff is like self-supported ultra endurance racing or ultra endurance bike packing.
That does
Already
sound
sounds
scary.
scary.
I
I'm
know.
scared. I am scared. Yeah.
People describe it as like I've heard it, a heavy metal game of chess because essentially you're trying to go as
That
far
is
as
a
you
Gnar
can.
analogy.
Yeah,
I
as
love it.
far as you can with as fast as you can with as little sleep as you can.
Okay,
and
how
as
many
little-
miles
Goodness.
is it?
This year it was 404 miles.
Yeah. No.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure of the mileage, but I knew it was something crazy like
My
that.
eyes are watering.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like,
I am too.
we're like crying. We haven't even signed up. That's crazy,
There's
dude.
a lot to be
Don't-
seen out
can't be
there.
there.
That's hilarious.
I'm sweating thinking about it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Nat Daddy, you got us.
Yeah.
You got
I
us.
know, well,
Oh,
it's
that's
so
funny.
different. I
That's a
guess.
That's so
different
funny.
level of bicycle.
Heavy
work.
Right,
metal.
right.
That's
Yeah.
like Hades itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
It's
is.
crazy. And you
it's
and
fun.
so it's like it's not stages. It's just hey, okay, here to here, 400 whatever miles, go. You
Right.
can do it. You can sleep for 6 hours if you want.
Yeah.
You can sleep for no hours. You can. Is that
Basically,
really?
yeah.
And
And
Yeah.
choose your own
Kill yourself
adventure.
if you'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be
You
like,
have to-
what's the cutoff? Can I take like half a year to do this?
You
Right,
can.
yeah.
Like some people, I think the longest
people are
time
still
was like
out
a
there.
full
They're
week.
still-
Yeah.
To this day, they
this
still
day.
might be out there.
They don't even know where they are. They're just
Yeah, they're
lost.
there.
A week.
Yeah.
A week, yeah. You could take like up to a week. You can take however long you
That's
want.
wild.
Or as
That's
fast
wild.
as you want. And
I mean,
you-
even doing that division, that's still a lot of miles per day, even if you did it in a week.
yeah.
Like,
it's still,
so how long was yours?
2 days and 15 hours for the
Holy
record.
shit.
You did 400 miles
Mile
in
in-
15 hours.
No, 2 days and 15 hours.
2 days and 15
Okay, so,
hours.
so just
Huh.
shy of 3 days.
Shy of
but,
3
but
days.
still.
So
Okay.
3 hours of sleep total too. So three
Total?
3 1-hour naps. Yeah, it was wild. I don't know. You kind of get
wrong
into
with
it.
her?
You didn't know she was that Gnar?
No, I'm.
We're like a different kind of Gnar, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
I'm
like I'm
scared
just
of
like,
you
I'm
now.
Jeff scared.
No,
This
I'm
is like
scared of
intimidating.
I'm like, what lies beneath? Like,
Yeah.
wow,
I'm
you're
just out there like, doo, doo, doo,
How do you
like-
strategize for that?
I don't. Okay, I
just
don't.
go for
I
it?
look
Go
at
for
the
it.
route. I see where like food and water is basically, and then I think like, okay, I just got to make it.
Can
this
I get
far.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
get to that point. I assess how I feel, and then you're usually in too deep. And
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of a competitive person too, so it's like when
just
I
a
get,
bit.
Oh, yeah.
just a little bit. When I get there, I'm like, man, I gotta keep going. Like I'm already 100 and I got 300 more. I might as well keep going. And then it's like 200, got 200 more.
Okay. I will say we taught this has come up at least 3 times the season finale run is this mind over matter thing. It's like you must, and I think that it goes with free ride too. Like I can do this, but I have to like trick my brain
Like, lock
that this
in.
isn't scary, this isn't hard, and then you eventually like get to a point where you're like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna shred this.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get more of that, like with sending stuff, because here I am being this big old peddler, and so I'm trying to channel that mentality when it comes to sending stuff too. But like when I was doing Doom this year, it was like 30 degrees and raining. Like we were having these.
Oh,
like,
you didn't add that part to it.
Was it also uphill both ways? Because that's
right.
Like, this is something you're gonna be telling your
You just
grandkids.
climbed a mountain.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
terrified. Like going into night, I was like, I don't know if I can make this
Absolutely
happen.
not.
It was literally like I just got to keep going and we'll see. And like the first night, 150 miles in was where I could sleep in a post office. So I was like, I have to make it 150 miles or I just don't make it at all. And
I just thought this was like an organized race. Now you're just like, I think I can sleep under that tarp behind the dumpster.
Dude,
Like, if I can get there.
Honestly, I thought I was hard. I was like, yeah, I camp.
Yeah, I'm hard. I'm
Off
hard.
road and like I'm gonna sail to Alaska and sleep in a bed
That's hard.
Sleep in a
every
bed,
night.
yeah.
A post office. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but like I didn't even think about night.
Sleep. Yeah,
And
or
the
like,
fact that you're biking all through the night, you slept for I just want to circle back to this.
Yeah, right.
You slept for a total
Of
of
3.
3 hours in 2.5 days.
yeah, three
That's
1
like-
hour naps. But this is like that's just showbiz, baby. That's
That's
like
just
that's just bike pack racing. You know, you go out there and you're like, this is how it's gonna be for the next.
No.
oh
freaking
my goodness, that is
however
not how.
That's gnarly.
I don't know. You just kind of like buckle your belt up and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm about to start pedaling and I'm not going to stop until
Wow.
I come back here again.
my
you know?
It kind of
Goodness.
reminds me of like driving to San Diego. I go, I'm going to get to
Yeah.
Gallup, New Mexico, and you're going to be dead because it's like you're going to do the larger leg of it, so it's like 14
falling
hours.
asleep,
But once I
driving.
get there, I go, I think we can get to Hallbrook.
pushing.
It's like
Yeah.
only 89 more miles.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
think we
it.
can get
I
to
think-
Flagstaff, and then it's
Yeah.
like, but it's midnight.
The closest I can even come to any of this is 2 things. I did an Everest challenge once, and I just rode up and down the same road for
Right.
14 hours straight,
That
trying to
sounds
get
That is pretty
the
gnarly.
elevation of
That is
Everest.
that
And it
sounds
was
boring
raining
as hell.
It was raining the whole time, but it was just like, yeah, you just settle into a pace, which for me was incredibly slow. I think I did like just over half the elevation of Everest in 14 hours. I think the winner of the Everest challenge that year was like 8 hours for the whole elevation of Everest, which was
Very
crazy. And also driving across Canada solo, and I was like, 16-hour drive. Like I had to get there in like 3 days, and I was by myself, but I was in a car and I was exhausted, and I got to sleep 8
pedaling.
hours a night.
You're not
Yeah.
pedaling.
There's absolutely no way. That's
It
Yeah.
gets addicting. Like, I don't know, just like craving.
You're
yeah.
sick. You are
I am
sick.
sick. I know.
what do we need to unpack here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But no, I think
Here's
there's
a therapy.
yeah, right.
We need to check you into therapy.
But
Yeah.
I will say you brought it up earlier. Like as you're doing this, like you're seeing scenic Arkansas,
Yeah,
and like
it's
that's
beautiful.
you were talking about you were on a road. You were going up and down a road.
That was terrible.
That was terrible.
You got
Yeah.
other drivers on the road too.
pretty
oh wait,
quiet.
you're talking about the Everest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I live in Canada. Barely any people live there. So
Was that like a
Not too
charity
much.
thing, or what was
I
it
don't
like?
even know,
I'm
man.
just gonna
I
do
didn't know what I was doing.
My friend. No, I didn't. I didn't fundraise.
No,
You just
gonna-
did. You just
Yeah, and then I
created
stopped.
a horrible situation for yourself.
Yeah, and my roommate went with me, and she's way more fit, and she did half, and then was like, "I'm gonna go," and then I stayed until dark, and then my mom came out and was like, "You need to stop."
See, you got it though.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm just gonna keep going.
Next year, me and you, Doom.
Let's
Doom,
You're
you're
doing
gonna
it.
do it?
Sign
Like,
me
for
up.
real?
Here, you heard it.
Oh.
We heard
That
it
is
here.
not
Yeah,
me
live.
On record. We're doing Doom
I
next
gotta,
year.
Oh,
I gotta
that's
not
great.
ride an e-bike first.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's hard. When you get that motor under you.
Yeah.
But like that, going back to like the scenic thing, I think that's something that has attracted me a little bit to bikepacking. Is just like getting that kind of like a tourist kind of
Yeah.
thing to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to see so much, and you get to see just so many different small towns, and it's a way to kind of like peer into people's lives. Like when I did Doom, I've done a few of these races, but Doom was just the most recent one.
Getting
But
it.
so I came up. There's this town in Arkansas called Deer. So
Yeah, I
it's
know
Deer,
Deer. I
Arkansas,
know
off
Deer,
the Buffalo
yeah.
River.
Yeah.
And I pull into town, and there's this old man standing by a water spigot, and he's just like mowing the lawn. And I get to talking with him. He's like, "What are you doing out here, like riding your bike?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm riding my bike." And he's like, yeah, I'm about 96 years old. I've lived in this town my whole life.
Wow.
And it's crazy.
Incredible.
And like Deer is like the size of my hand, you know. It's like such a small town, and it's just like, and like that realization, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm constantly chasing like big cities or like just new experiences, and this man has lived such a happy, content, beautiful life in tiny Deer, Arkansas, and being able to see that, I was just like, wow, this is crazy, and it's a cool experience.
We got Madeline Nealon in the chat saying Nat is a badass. She's my queen.
She's my queen.
Yes,
You're my
that's
queen,
weird.
Madeline. Madeline, you know Madeline.
Yeah,
She shreds. She rides Team Gnarkansas, so we know.
I love Madeline.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I know all of this, you're my inspiration too.
This isn't.
yeah.
This isn't
Crazy.
saying Nat Daddy came out on the podcast,
So unassuming,
right?
Like women's ride, you're like, oh, I don't know, like maybe we can just like, oh, and then I'm just like, yo, you're
a monster.
Yeah, you're a monster.
You're a monster.
I gotta work
400
on
miles.
representing myself, I guess.
Well.
Like I can do crazy shit, I guess.
Yeah, you're
I
awesome.
guess.
Man,
But I
that's
think-
insane.
Something that you said about like that perspective of like doing that race and like meeting people from the small towns and stuff like that. I think that's something like as we travel and ride different spots and like get to have these different experiences, it's like you realize that, you know, not to dive into this too much, but it's like our phones and social media. And I know like even some of my best friends at home who watch my stories, they're like, oh, you're just having like the best. It's so easy to get wrapped up in like chasing the big thing,
Right.
feeling like where you're at isn't enough, feeling like where you live isn't good enough, and like all this stuff. And then it's like really like you can get really wrapped up in it and really down on yourself about it.
Sure.
And I think like experiences like that kind of bring you back to that core of like, oh wow, like what really matters is just like the people who are immediately around you and like caring about that stuff. It's like kind of humbling, or like, yeah, just like meeting that old man just like gives you a different perspective of like, oh hey, maybe I should just like take a breath and like look around my own backyard and just like connect with the people that are right here and like appreciate what I have.
Yeah,
It's really easy.
It's like people and experiences, like those two combinations like give you so much more joy than just like seeing something on your phone and being like, oh, that was so cool. Like, you know, like there's been a lot of times where we've done events, or like especially traveling, you go and like say you're gonna go to like an event, you want to like take it in, but you also know, we were talking about this earlier before we started, was that when you're working with any branding of any kind with any company, you have this like need, all right, I got to get some content for my thing, you know? Okay, here we are at whatever and then okay, here will you hold my phone real quick, you know, like this whole thing where we're like constantly having to like feed the content, but at the same time we want to have fun doing the thing that we came for. Like that balance is really strange right now, I feel like. I mean, do you guys struggle with that at all?
Totally. I always joke and say it's like really it's hard work making your life look like a vacation.
Yeah, right. Good call. That's
and I
awesome.
think like what I want to say to people, because I think my like everyone's Instagram is a highlight reel.
That's right.
And like I have a friend that's kind of going through it right now. She's struggling, and she's kind of like, man, like your life is like blah blah blah, and like your last trip to Arkansas was just like da 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 da. And I was like, dude, I got broken up with one of those days. I was crying the whole day. Like
life wasn't all good.
You don't show, like, it's just like I don't show so much of my life. And like it's my job to make it look amazing, and it is amazing.
That's true.
But also just like I think it breaks my heart when people see what I'm putting out there and think that like, oh, she's like got it so much, like and it makes like it does the opposite of what I want. Like all I want to do is like instill confidence and inspire people and be real and connect and like make people feel good about themselves and good about where they're at, and encourage them to like you know, like get after it, but also like be happy with where you are. And it is really it's heartbreaking when I hear people just like have a warped perception of like my life or like another influencer or athlete's life, because it's like social media is just so easy to glorify all this stuff and make it look like it's just like good time.
But the hard work behind it's not really seen a lot of the time. So
and like the struggle.
Some people's perception it may be that, man, all this goodness just plops out of the sky and plops on your lap, and it's like, no, that's it.
And it's like I've been riding bikes since I was 12 years old, so that was, I think, first time I raced internationally was a junior in 2004, 2005. I didn't start making money at mountain biking, and I was top 10 in the world. I raced downhill World Cup circuit for 10 years, like just to put perspective in, won nationals a bunch of time, top of my game. I didn't start making money at mountain biking until 2018. So from 2004 to 2018, I was working 3 jobs.
Yeah.
I was like, my family was like scraping together what they could to like send me to races and stuff. Like, so it's like, it's not for like people to pity me or like anything like that. It's more just like, hey, yeah, no, like you're good. Like if you're struggling, like so have I and so am I. And like, there's a lot of things that you guys don't see. And that doesn't mean that like you can't accomplish everything I've accomplished or you've accomplished or what you see from anyone else that you look up to online. It's like, we're all, there's a lot of stuff under the table that you don't see. And it's like, you don't have to expect your life to, like, to hold yourself to the standard of someone else's highlight reel is completely
there we
like
go. That's it right there.
Yeah. It's like you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
That's my PSA.
I'm
There
ready.
you go.
Yeah,
No, like I think
we need to get into
hear
that
though.
Yeah, and there's this like perception, and I think this comes with even people that aren't even involved in action sports like we are, where it's, you know, you're just looking at somebody having this happy life and you think that it's all joy when it's just the highlight reel. So just look at it as the highlight reel. It's like, this is my poster board. There's all the cool shit I do.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, there's other horrible shit on the other side you got broke up with. You know, you don't even know.
You don't even know.
Yeah. It's like, so I just feel like that people put the phones down. I mean, watch this show and then
put your phone down.
follow them on
Yeah.
Instagram. But just put the phones down.
But yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a segue.
No,
A bit
no,
of
that's
a
fine.
detour, but it was like when you were saying that about Doom, it's just like
Yeah.
these events and like being at events like this and being in real life and focusing on the now and focusing on setting goals to go do stuff like that is like, that's what brings you back to the core, and like that's the stuff that matters way
The
more
experience.
than sitting on your phone and doom scrolling someone else's life. It's just like, go out there, talk to the 96-year-old man mowing his lawn in Deer, Arkansas. It's like, that's what's gonna make you feel alive.
That's true.
Yeah,
And probably nobody's ever done that before. Like, talk to that
old
guy
man
in
guy.
Arkansas.
Yeah,
You're
he's
the
like,
one.
What the heck are y'all doing?
He probably went home and was like, I'm
at
at the
this,
craziest
this-
girl today.
They're like,
Every time.
woman
He's
was on a
losing his
bike.
mind. There was no girl riding
Yeah.
their bike outside of Deer. We need to check him in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's so funny with like social media too, and like an event like this. It's like you see people that you've like seen online, and you're like, I kind of know of you. You maybe kind of know of me. How do I go about that interaction and doing a lot of that? And like even when I met you, I was like, they're like, okay, hey, you're gonna be riding with Micayla Gatto, and I like see you online. I'm like, oh my god, she's this bad bitch. Like she is so, and like
This is gonna be hard.
Yeah, you're still that, and I'm like, wow, she's like sending it off of cliffs. That is crazy. What is she doing up there? And then I meet you, and I'm like,
hello.
yeah, I'm like, okay, you're
like,
just
oh, you're
chill.
just a normal person.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
people like build stuff up in our heads where we're like, you know, this is so unattainable. This person is not like a relatable person. But at the end of the day, we're just all humans, just trying to survive on this rock in space.
Is that not another misperception of social media? Because it's like, so I talked with Paul Wall for a very short time. Nicest
What
dude.
it do?
What it do? And he was
smile,
he was
too.
actually seemed really normal. Like that was the other thing that
Yeah.
kind of like peeled it back. I was like, oh, you're just a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Paul Wall, but you're
Yeah.
just a dude too, like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like I've been hanging with Steve Caballero all week,
Cab.
playing pool and talking about relationships
In the
and
background.
drawing
Cab
and
right
doodling.
there.
Yeah, he's literally
Yeah.
behind me. And like people coming up to him and being like, "You're Steve Caballero," and I didn't follow the skate scene so closely to have that perception of him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, to me, he's like, oh hey, how's it going? Like,
Yeah.
just
He's
really
the
soft
nicest guy.
spoken, really
Yeah.
nice. Like, oh, are you gonna do that jump line? I'm like, maybe. He's like, oh, I just did it. Also, sender.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
kills it. Yeah.
Sender.
Well,
And he's like,
yeah.
what? You want to follow me? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I'm just like, wait a second. I'm like following Steve
Skateboard
Caballero.
legend.
I just had avocado toast with Steve Caballero like this morning.
Our viewers would be jealous.
I was like, what is this? I'm like, but he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah.
We're skateboarders, and I'm in my 50s, so I grew up watching
Yeah.
the Bones Brigade guy, and then just get to meet him for the first time. I'm like, Okay, be normal.
We're
be
just-
normal.
I'm
Be
just-
normal.
this is
And
normal,
then you
this is
quickly
normal.
find out. I was like, oh, he's normal.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Hey man,
Well,
oh, hey.
yeah.
You know, and within seconds,
He
I'm
is,
like, so dude, you know,
Yeah, everybody is having the exact like best like impression of him.
Uh-huh.
It's exactly how he
Yeah,
acts. Like
so
so
lovely.
soft spoken, so nice. But I think that perception, you know, kind of wrapping all this into a package is that it's perception. You know, like I
Yeah.
think that we perceive this grandiose versions of these people. You
Yeah.
know, Matt Jones like walked by me and I was like, that was Matt Jones. Okay, whatever. This is,
Yeah.
you know, like I put that in my head. But like if my mom was standing there, she doesn't know who that dude is.
Yeah.
Just some kid. Get out of here. You know, so
You
it's
would
like
know.
we build these things in our head. We make these
Yeah.
people. We put them on a pedestal
Also,
in our heads.
Matt Jones, so lovely.
Oh yeah.
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 I haven't got
You'd
to
have
hang
been like,
with him.
oh, hello, lovely to meet you.
Yeah, I probably should have just elbowed him back.
Oh.
Hey, we're talking for a second here,
So
bud.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
Such salt of the earth, lovely
That's cool.
human. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Where'd you meet him at?
I've known Matt and Jono. I knew
Oh, cool.
his twin brother
Yeah.
from
Jono, yeah.
the World Cup circuit.
Yeah.
So I've known Jono for
Also equal
decades.
shredder.
yeah,
you know?
and then I probably met Matt through the Crankworks World Tour. I feel like I knew him before that, but I think I connected with a lot of those guys when I started announcing for Red Bull. Because I was the
Oh,
person
that
at the
makes
bottom
sense.
being
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, you just came down and did a
Oh,
trick that I can't recognize."
I-
Was that a backflip?
Name it for me.
Yeah, I got fired. It's fine. I gave it my best shot.
Oh
They're
well.
busted.
My first interview was with Kyle Straight, and I was like,
Nice.
"So, Kyle, your wife keeping you fit?" And I was like,
Oops.
"I'm like, ah, because she's an enduro racer and she makes you go ride." Oh god.
Yeah, right.
They're just like, I don't know if this girl's gonna last.
I think we need more of that, though.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
need
that-
more comedy and
yeah.
lightheartedness.
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
anything
Maybe a
in the world.
spin-off.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
well,
go.
tip. Get with Tippy, dude. Because, like,
Yeah.
I swear, a pink bike, that probably might even be, like, a more, like, a better fit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's jokes over there.
Yeah.
It's all jokes over there,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
when
all
it's,
jokes
it's
over
Tip,
there.
Tippy.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man. Like
His jokes?
How his brain can just store all that. I'm like, my
Oh,
brain
we
is
talk about that,
relaxed.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, you
He's-
got it.
He's a different breed.
I told him he needs to write a joke book.
I did, too.
Yeah.
I did. I totally just
Yeah.
said the same thing.
And then we were joking about how his like PG jokes might just be a pamphlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not a
It's not a whole book. Yeah. And got many of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was a really cool guy. And honestly, like, you know, this whole, like, thing with everybody in YT coming together, like, what that has to have been, like, a crazy experience working with all the YT people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what opportunities has that opened up?
Well, for me, like, I don't know what your guys' perception of YT was, but for years I was like, oh man, YT is like the cool brand, and like
Yeah.
all of the like uncaged and like everything is
Yeah,
like
it's like
tattoos.
it's like
and,
unobtainium almost.
yeah,
you know?
like free ride, and at the time they had Aggie and Ace and like two
Yep.
guys that I grew up riding with and really looked up to and idolized, and I, you know, when I was on Diamondback, they didn't make a downhill bike, and they're like, you can pick any downhill bike, and we'll pay for it because we
Oh,
know
I
this is important to you. You
see.
just have to black out the
Okay.
frame. You can't like
I see.
show the thing. So they bought.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want a YT.
No way.
Yeah. So they bought me a YT.
That is hilarious.
And then when I got onto the team, I was so nervous because I was like, these guys are so cool, and like I'm just me, and like I'm just dorky old me, and I don't know if I'm gonna be well received or like it's gonna be kind of scary and intimidating. I was really
Right.
intimidated.
Yeah.
Everything's black and like and I want to be that, but I'm like a golden retriever. I'm like I try.
Yes, I'm trying.
It's like my dog.
Yeah.
Literally,
Like,
it's my dog.
It's like everybody looks at you like, oh, you got badass tattoos. And you're like, here's my pup.
I love her. But no, and then I like walked into the mill in San Clemente, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. Like, be cool.
cool.
And everyone is so
So-
friendly and so welcoming. And they're like,
Yeah.
Jimmy Asselford, like my boss, is one of the most giving, generous, friendly people. He would go to war for any of us. It is crazy the amount of effort. Like, I've worked with a lot of marketing managers and team managers over the 20 years I've been doing this, and he honestly, like, shout out to Jimmy big time, because he's the only manager I've had. He got me my tattoo apprenticeship.
Oh,
and he won't admit it. He's like, no, I just introduced you to the right people. You made it happen.
You did it.
He also introduced you to your ex too.
The what?
Your ex.
Yeah.
And the wrong.
Okay. Plus
one mark, negative one. Yeah. Up one, down one.
You can occasionally get it wrong.
No, it's all pluses. It's all
There you
pluses. Good chapters. But and it just, I guess anyone in Bentonville who's intimidated to come into the mill or whatever, like, don't be.
No.
It's like it's
everybody's so cool.
Everyone always says too, like, if you're in trouble, go to the metalheads and the, like, biker gangs and stuff, because they're the nicest people. And
That's
it's
a good
like,
point.
and I feel like it's like, YT can come across as being a little intimidating, maybe, and like a bit edgy. I don't know, it's just edgy, cool.
Yeah.
But everyone that I have not met a single person that employee of YT or anything like that. I'm not even being paid to say this. I genuinely like that hasn't been so lovely. Yeah. And so welcoming and so down to earth. Like, and the athletes that they bring on, it's like, there's not, besides me.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice now.
And Natalie, you work for YT?
No,
Or
so
you
I
did?
don't. I am a local ambassador, essentially. So they kind of brought me on to, I guess, like, amp up the women's mountain bike scene and start leading female group rides on YT. I think it kind of started more as, like, a gravel relationship. They saw me, like, riding my gravel bike on Jesse's last stand. I was, like, hitting the jumps. And they're like, this is who we need.
That's pretty rad. Yeah.
This is who we need to
ride
our
also
gravel
gnarly.
bike. Yeah, but then they gave
on 1 hour of sleep.
I was like 100 miles in. Just
You just did a 100-mile loop, and then you hit Jesse's.
And
her eyes are bugging out. I haven't slept in 3 days.
Rolling back through Deer, Arkansas. I think I'll just stop by.
Hang out with that guy again.
That is how it goes. But they brought me on to do more gravel stuff, and then I'm kind of a lone wolf here in Bentonville, like, I go on my long rides and I love riding trails, but I prefer
nobody else wants to do what you're doing.
That's why.
That's
why.
I don't blame anyone. But, like, I was kind of more like, I'd rather mountain bike. I'd rather have more of y'all's mountain bikes than your gravel bike. And, like, even the gravel I do, I'm on a mountain bike too.
Oh, okay.
So, like, on the races I do, it's just more comfortable and fun,
Oh, it just so purely comfort? Like, that's the
comfort for long days.
You riding Izzo? What do you ride?
I ride a custom slow southern steel hardtail. So my partner Jesse, he's a frame builder here in Arkansas. So I ride his. They're just like little tiny steel hardtail bikes. It rips. But and like the YTs are more for my fun trail days. So I'll like go out in the town, hit jumps, try to work on skills. But I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand, because I think the bike packing stuff is like my fun, maybe race side of me, and then like adventuring, and then these jumping, like all that, like trail riding is more just for play for me. And then I think I'm trying to just promote that. I think that's kind of why they brought me on, was like, hey, just get people out here to ride just for the vibes.
Well, I mean, that's a true ambassador right there,
For sure.
Sweet. I was like, all right, y'all want me to do this? Sure. I'll say less. I'll come ride bikes with y'all. No
Hey,
problem.
will you ride bikes for us? Sure.
It's not a hard.
I might not be the biggest sender in town, but hell, I'll get some more girls on bikes and go hang out with them and just like try to promote people doing it. I'd love to do that.
There was a really good turnout last time, and I feel like that was like a lot to do with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. I was like, ladies, pull up.
Don't
make me
look bad.
Come on, get on out here. Bikes.
Yeah.
So wait, there was supposed to be a women's ride today.
Yes, there still should be one today at 3.
I mean, I don't know if you see outside.
I've been staring. I've been watching.
Yeah.
Outside. It's raining.
It's raining.
I was thinking we
hearing
go to
the thunder.
Choo Choo and Leopard's Loop, but I still even think if there's water on that, it still might be
It could
slick.
slick.
It still sketches me out on some of those tight turns, those tight berms.
Berms,
You can see those wet spots, and it's like
the whole
looks
riding.
slick.
The not riding in the rain thing is such a new concept to me because where I live, it
There's
rains
just no way.
6 months of the year,
Oh.
8 months of the year. But
Right. Okay.
my pen.
Oh, watch it. Don't lose it.
She's an artist.
Autograph.
Just-
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know if
just-
you noticed, but I'm an
When it-
artist.
and then like,
Pocket
oh,
protector.
you need an autograph?
Yeah, you need an autograph? Let me sign your baby. No, sorry. Let me just put this back here. I lost my train of thought.
rain,
at home.
rain
Rain.
at home. Yeah.
Well, so in like I go to San Diego a lot for my tattoo apprenticeship and
Okay,
stuff, and then
yeah.
coming here and it's just like, oh, it's raining, we can't ride, and I was
Yeah.
like, come on, guys, like it's just
Yeah.
water. And then I remember I went for a walk in LA when it was raining, and the amount
Of rain?
of
Yeah.
dirt,
Oh,
the amount of
dirt,
dirt that just
yeah.
like, because it's clay based, and like your tires, it's like, oh, this
It
is
doesn't
actually
come
like.
off.
This is actually impossible to do.
Impossible,
And it
yes.
ruins the trails and all this stuff. And so I'm just like, oh man, yeah, you actually can't. It's not a, oh, I don't want to get wet.
Yeah.
It's like you can't ride.
Yeah.
in the
Well,
rain.
we do have some trails, but it's just a little too far to ride to
Right.
from here. But like
Here.
Bella Vista,
Bella Vista, I was thinking
and
back
like
40,
gravel.
right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
back
Do you
40.
know if the restructure of Hobbs is still wet weather friendly?
I would say so. I think they
That's
just
what we thought.
resurfaced it
Yeah.
the same way. Like Car Sloop is open now, and it's
Okay.
just the
Car,
same rock.
Car Sloop isn't really far away from here, and there is some fun stuff on it.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
it's
a-
super. It's just good and flowy. You
Yeah.
know, it's like to rip an 8-mile lap and just like
It's just
not
8
really
miles.
have to put
It's
in that
real
much
chill.
work. You're just like,
It's very
"Ew,"
chill.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and the cool part about Karst is it goes, it rides by the lake, Beaver Lake. It's like our biggest lake,
Oh,
and it's
cool.
so beautiful.
Cool. So
On-
there is spots to ride
Uh-huh.
if
Yes.
it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think what Natalie was saying was that we're just it's a little far from like downtown
To
Bentonville.
ride,
Yeah, so I
from-
mean you're gonna
yeah.
drive like
20,
45,
30 minutes. maybe
Yeah,
at
well,
most.
like to get up to like Bella Vista would be like a 20, 30
20.
minute
Well, yeah,
drive.
20 for that.
Okay.
I,
And to
I would
organize
say
a group ride be kind of difficult. Be like, oh,
Right.
meet here.
Right.
It's just
That's
kinda
a
hard
good point.
logistically.
But that's
Yeah.
cool to know that there's that option. So like people who are coming to visit for Bike Fest and like say the weather isn't the best, right in Bentonville, you can go 20 minutes and
Sure.
find cool trails
no,
to
and
ride.
that's a great point because like around here, a lot of times when people come to Bentonville Bike Fest, they're like, "Oh, we got to ride Bentonville and stay inside of Bentonville."
Yeah.
But
Water
then
Pen Kohler.
you just if you step just like a few steps out, Eureka Springs, Leatherwood, Ponca, BOC,
BOC is
I went to Horseshoe Canyon.
Horseshoe
which-
Canyon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sick.
We
Yeah.
had Annika on at started the finale,
I
and
love
she
Annika.
did the Mina
Yes.
trail preview. She had a really cool trail preview with a drone.
Cool.
Shows the whole thing.
Oh, awesome.
Shout out Benton Drones. And then there's like Fayetteville, Centennial, Kessler, Mount Sequoia.
Perfect
Nobody
wet
talks
weather
about
place.
Sequoia, right?
No, because it's if you're riding in Bentonville too, and you're used to Bentonville trails, everything is so manicured. It's
Yes.
beautiful flow.
But Sequoia
is just like
Gulp.
rocky chunk. You can
And
find
the
some enduro lines
roots.
there too.
Roots.
And you can ride it all in the wet. Like you're not
Yes.
destroying
Yeah.
anything. And you're
Cool.
just
That's
like,
true.
I
That's
love
Super
awesome.
Sequoia.
super natty
Yeah.
like trail.
Sick.
You know.
That's such cool like beta to have as like a foreigner.
You don't
It's like-
see it online,
Yeah.
and people like don't necessarily promote it. You know,
Yes.
you go with what you know.
And I
Yeah.
think because Bentonville has so many trails and like I'm only here for 5 days and like I can't even begin to ride all the trails here.
Well-
that you can really hyper focus on
Yes.
just these hubs and just trying to get it all in right here without realizing like I did something for Tourism Arkansas 10 days ago. I was here.
Oh, I saw that. That was
and
cool.
I was in Little Rock and Hot Springs and Horseshoe
Hot
Canyon.
Springs. That's right. I saw that. Yeah.
And we rode all in those spots, and I don't know what. I'm like, oh, there's other riding in Arkansas.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
See,
And it's
that's
like,
what
yeah.
happens.
And we
That's what
flew-
happens.
We floated the Buffalo River.
There we
Yes,
go.
That was
There
sick.
we go.
Like Arkansas is amazing.
Yes.
Arkansas, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
First National River.
That's
Very,
what I'm
very
talking
sick,
about.
very
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
over,
no.
over 500 swimming holes, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of them with
Yeah.
waterfalls and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a book on it.
I got,
I need to get
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
book.
it is.
Yeah.
Dang it. I'm struggling
Arkansas
for the.
swimming holes, I think it's called.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It is something
Pretty
like that.
basic,
Very
yeah.
simple. Is it Tim? It's the guy that does the waterfall books. Tim. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Anyways, find it. I'm sure it's
yeah.
the
Don't
internet.
don't sleep on Arkansas.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to the Glory Hole? Did you go to
Glory
that
Hole's
waterfall?
cool.
The
Yeah,
whole-
well.
It's so beautiful.
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
I did what now?
Is it that like half kind of one and then
There's the hole
and
coming
then there's
through
water?
the top.
No, I don't think I did.
You would know. You would know if it was the Glory Hole. It's
Yeah.
so distinct. It's like there's literally a hole in
It
the
cuts
earth.
through the ground.
and
Like
it's-
the water goes through.
No,
and
I
you can like
Yeah.
stand under it and
It's
watch it come
Oh,
through.
beautiful.
We did like
Yeah.
a little walk when we were floating the buffalo, and we walked in like a mile or something, and there was a really cool waterfall that you can actually stand under and like get hit by. It was
That's
really
probably
cool.
Hemmed In Hollow.
Hamden, yeah.
Yes,
Could have been.
I think
Yep,
so.
Hemmed in hollow.
But,
Yep.
like,
It's like the tallest one. Like
It is the tallest. Is it our
So
tallest one?
west of the Mississippi.
Yeah,
or,
that's
like,
it. I think that's it. Yeah.
The bluffs in there are so cool, and then also like activities wise, like Horseshoe Canyon, they said there's over 500 rock climbing routes.
Yes.
And we did the Via
right.
Ferrata thing.
Oh,
that
cool.
was
Good.
so sick too.
That's cool.
And like a zip line, I got worked on the zip line. That was crazy.
You got worked on a zip line?
Dude,
No, tell me.
so like I did this GoPro Women's Summit. And we did a zip line that goes like over like an open mine thing. You can pick your own gems and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And it like comes down and then it kind of like slows up. Like one of the tiny girls, it's like so gentle on the landing that she actually went and then
And
like
came
fell
back. Yeah.
and then she had to
I've
get
always been
rescued.
worried about that.
Yeah.
That'd be
Cool.
so scary.
But then, so I had that experience. And then the Horseshoe Canyon one, they're like, yeah, you're going to go about 55 miles an hour. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what that is because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of fast. And because I do kilometers. And I'm going down and I have a video and I'm just like, wee. And then at the bottom, there's like a spring that catches
Oh, like
you.
a catch. Yeah.
And I just wasn't expecting it. And I just went like,
Oh, wow.
and like you see my legs like fly up in the air and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't get hurt or anything, but
Yeah.
I was like,
You're not
"Whoa."
expecting that. Yeah.
Like, that's legit.
That's funny.
So yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many other things to do here, like not just mountain biking and like
Yeah.
I don't know, the art scene in Bentonville too is just incredible.
Yeah.
Free museums, like come on.
There's a lot of free stuff in Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas overall. I mean, I feel like it's like one of those places where if you just get your body here,
Yeah.
you can do
Just
some
get here.
cool things.
Mhm.
You know,
Devil's Den
Get
hiking.
here, get a map,
Yeah.
look lost,
look
and
lost.
then you'll have a
Find
tour
a guide. You have
Yeah.
an Insta guide.
Yeah, they'll
Insta
probably
guide.
invite you to
Insta
dinner.
guide.
You need to go to Devil's Den. Have you been there yet?
Devil's Den is an
Yes.
awesome
That's-
place.
I think
yeah.
so. Is that the one where you're like you can bike through all these like rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And it kind of little S curve through the
behind the
rocks,
waterfall?
and then the
Yeah.
waterfall
Yes,
curve.
I did that
Yep.
last week.
So beautiful.
Okay.
So
oh, did you
sick.
do that with the Arkansas State Parks thing? That's perfect. That's
So
so
apparently
iconic.
those were the first mountain bike trails
Yes.
in the state.
Yes,
And then
they are.
They're obviously like resurfaced and stuff.
Yeah,
but
there's
those
a
were the
there's a
uh,
first ones.
black line at
So
the top,
cool.
Orville.
Orville?
I
Love
love
that.
Orville.
That's such a
It's a
good line.
Gnar trail too,
Yeah.
right?
The climb up, I like almost died. I
The-
like
the
scarred
climb
my
up
belly.
sucks.
I like there's like a
Super
rock climb. I
sucks.
just like
Yes.
slid off the side. Now I have like
I
a
know what you're
scar.
talking about. It's stupid.
It's so
yes.
stupid.
Yeah,
I was
it
like, I'll make
is.
it up this.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not
downhill's so
designed. The
fun.
climb is not designed. The down a little designed, but
Yeah.
it's raw. That's
Yeah.
what I love about it is that we
Yeah.
don't have. One of the things that happens around here, and this kind of points to what you were talking about earlier about the oh goodness, the trails and them being wet.
Progressive.
No, like the muddy, and you can't ride them. Okay, that having those places that are raw. That's where we have these all-weather places. But like we're building so many trails here with fresh dirt that's I think one of the biggest things that makes a lot of these trails not rideable is we're building them so fast, and then they need to be packed in for years before they're actually going to be acceptable for any all weather. I mean, we were talking about Hobbs earlier. Hobbs has been around forever, you know, and it's I don't know if Karst Loop has been around forever. It's been
No, I think
it's a
that's a
newer
newer
one,
one,
but
yeah.
even now it's been around for so long, it's fine. You know, and I just think that it's good to have a healthy mix of that. You want those like butter trails,
Yeah.
you know, you want the dirt ribbons, but like it's every once in a while, like Devil's Den, you just have this
Yeah.
natural
Oh, it's
stuff.
so
Yeah.
cool.
You know.
So like a lot of
really
that
cool
too,
there.
like when they go in and build stuff, it's like they're working with what they got, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
in Bentonville, you know, I
That's
wasn't
true.
here when they started building trails too, but it's like I probably assume the reason why they bring so much dirt in is probably because the rock and
It's not
the dirt
supportive.
wasn't as good for the type of trails they want. But then
That's
you go
it.
out, it's like Karst Loop and like say Mount Sequoia, like it's made for that kind of hand cut kind of stuff. Or
That's
Bella
right.
Vista too. Like we wouldn't be putting like fresh dirt in Bella Vista, would you think? Like
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's like all blow away.
and I think that's a good trail builder is looking at and I don't know much about it, but the trail builders I have talked to, they're like, look at the local dirt and try to use as much of that as you can. Find a good, what do they call them, borrow pits? Like where you take like dirt from local dirt from, but you don't like take it all from one spot. You kind of have to like, boop, 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 you know.
Yeah.
And so like there's a little bit of that. We're getting more trail builders around here. Shout out Northwest Arkansas Community College Trail Tech Program. There is a program to be certified as a trail builder.
Technician.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, in many disciplines too.
Very cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I mean, man.
Maybe it is the mountain bike capital.
Yeah.
I think it's just
You
because
clip
of
that.
how much people are like putting into it. You know, it might not be the coolest place or the most beautiful place. Like we don't have the Rockies here. You know, we have
the
Ozarks and
elevation.
Ouachitas. Yeah, we might not have the elevation.
Short trails.
Honestly,
But
though,
there's some money going into
Yeah.
it.
300 feet of elevation, you're doing pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy.
there's a Spider Mountain in Texas.
Yeah,
is
love
like the
that
same,
place.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the
It's
same
about
amount.
300 feet, and
yeah.
I think the Bella Vista Bike Park they said
Is-
was like 250, 270.
Yeah,
so it's-
there's something.
I thought I heard 300,
Yeah.
but even in and around, it's the chairlift back up.
Yeah.
Keep looping me.
Quick laps,
It's all
and
good.
it's not enough to like really get you super tired on like one downhill descent. You know,
For
like
sure.
you're not in that like wall sit position for like
Yeah.
an hour. You know, like you can
For
just kind
sure.
of hit a lap and be like, I'm gonna go back up and keep.
But
going.
I must
Sure.
say, like the Bella Vista Bike Park is like, they utilize that 300 feet so well
For sure.
that you're not pedaling your brains out. It feels like way more than that.
Sure.
Like riding the black jump line, I was like, it felt like A line.
Oh well.
Like
I mean,
at Whistler.
is that contributing to Gravity Logic being the trail building company that is doing
maybe.
this? I mean, and I'm so thankful. I mean, one of the things I said, we were talking about Gravity Logic's jumps. They're predictable. You know what's. I've heard this about A-line is that you can hit A-line because you know what that jump's going to give you.
Yeah.
And I think that we might be getting that there.
Yeah.
At the OZ
it's-
Bike Park.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I think we need to get you guys out of here because I think you just need to figure out the group right. I don't really even know what is to happen.
Maybe we're just gonna have mimosas instead or
That would be
something.
sick.
a ladies hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie
Yeah.
day.
No problem with that, right?
Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't even bring a rain jacket. Should have thought
Oh,
that.
No.
YT has full rain kits.
There you
Shout
go.
out, shout out, shout out.
Pants and jacket matching.
Matching kits.
There's
There you
green,
go.
beige, and black. They're really cute.
Ooh.
Yep.
I might go
And
check
we got all
it
kinds
out.
of clips from this episode. YT, you better be clipping this up.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Just
And-
trying to keep my job.
and-
Yeah.
Jimmy, the ambassadors are trying to keep their jobs. They're doing their work. Getting
Yeah.
paid.
Well, thanks so much for having us.
Yes.
thank you
Yeah.
for
No,
coming
this has
on.
been very great.
I was nervous coming into it, but I knew that as soon as I started talking to you guys, it would be.
There we go.
You're just regular dudes.
You're
It
just
should be
regular
easy.
dudes. Yeah,
We're
I
all
was.
just dudes.
I put you on a pedestal.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
see,
you know,
You
even
did?
we got
Wow.
on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yay.
Like these Gnarkansas guys.
It's intimidating
Yeah.
stuff.
But then we just talk and we're all just dudes.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that song? I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all
We're
dudes.
dudes.
Hey.
We're all just dudes being
We're
dudes.
just
Right.
dudes being
So
dudes.
funny.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's a sender out if I've ever seen
Yeah,
one. We're
that's the
sending
closer.
today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, the chat was live. People were watching. It was a good time.
Cool.
And come back to Arkansas.
Yeah.
You're already here, so
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll be around, but
I'll
come
be
back,
back.
please.
She's
I'll
gonna
be
bike
back.
pack around Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe I'll come up there sometime again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ride your bike up. Why not?
Yeah.
You gotta go to
Maybe she'll-
Oaxaca. You gotta go on that Oaxaca
do.
trip.
I do
yeah,
want
right.
to,
Yeah. There we go.
Maybe
Yeah.
she'll ride from here to Whistler in 2 days. with
Yeah,
She'll ride to
probably.
she'll ride to Oaxaca.
If that's a challenge, I'll accept it. I'm like, if someone wants
already
to throw
thinking
me
about it.
money to go ride my bike to Oaxaca, I will go ride my bike
Oh
to
my
Oaxaca.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody
What's
watching
wrong
this?
with you?
Get out of here.
Bro, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to see the world.
He's crazy.
You can see the world in a car.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
drive.
it's so different.
You remind me of that.
I know.
That little stuffed animal gift that people use to go.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Everybody,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
Ladies,
Thank you.
thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Take care.
See ya.
See you.